Do white men think that everybody can pull themselves up by their bootstraps? In one of my research studies on social class and organizations, I asked white men this question. The phrase pull yourself up by your bootstraps refers to the American dream by the idea that anybody, if you work hard enough, put on your work boots, can move up from a lower class to a higher one. And not just anyone, but the highest. For my master's thesis, I was interviewing white men who had experienced social class mobility. And so they tell me their whole class story and work history and how they moved up. And near the end of the interview, I asked them, so what do you think of the idea of pulling yourself up by your bootstraps? How does that make you feel? And we found a variety of answers. Half of the men who responded to this question said, yes, I believe in pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. I did it. The other half who responded said, it does take really hard work, but other things help me out. One of the quotes that I remember most from this was, I believe sometimes we have to put a hand on the bootstraps. But all of them had at some point had some other external factor that helped them out, like having a mentor or a lucky mortgage rate or something else. So we'd read through the interview transcripts and we'd be like, okay, they said all these things helped them, and then at the end they said it was just hard work. Clearly that wasn't all of them. And then we coded for what they said about other people. Should other people have help moving up in social class mobility, or should they also pull up on their bootstraps? And 65% of them said other people don't move up because they don't work hard enough, while 35% said that it's hard work, but there's also systemic barriers, such as the inaccessibility of education, rising costs of living, etc. This is in line with attribution theory, which is a psychological theory that looks at situational attributions versus dispositional attributions. We are more likely to use situational attributions with ourselves, of saying that we behaved a certain way because something else that was not us, an event, another person, etc., influenced our behavior. We had no choice. While we attribute dispositional attributions to other people, more likely that it was because of their character that they made that decision and not because there was an extenuating circumstance. So for example, when we make a mistake, we might tell ourselves, well, I had no choice at the time. But when we see somebody else make the same mistake, we're more likely to say they should have known better. This is a character flaw. What do you think? What's your bootstrapping story?